Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Peace and blessings be upon you all. My name is Yusuf Wali. I'm the director for the Mayor's Office for Immigrant Advancement. I'm going to be the Masters of Ceremony tonight. And to kick us off tonight, we're going to have our amazing Deputy Chief Academic Officer and Interim Assistant Superintendent at Boston Public Schools, Sister Farah Siraj, to welcome us and kick us off.
Good evening, Assalamu alaikum, marhaba. We're so wonderful to have our community gather. It's been quite some time since we've been gathered together since COVID, and so we welcome all of you to be here with us in the Boston Public Schools. Who knew as a young immigrant who arrived here at the age of 10 that I would be standing before my beautiful, diverse Boston, celebrating our Iftar together as a community, and the many diversities that represent our Islam faith. It is wonderful to also have some of our students, Tony King, our fearless leader, being at my former school where we started, myself and some students, our first Iftar actually a few years back, a community interfaith Iftar that still continues. So we hope that this is an example of our gathering, our faith, our humanity, and all the ways in which our, the symbol of Islam in terms of our generosity, our discipline, and the ways in which we interconnect amongst and between each other. And in particular for our students, to create a space of belonging where we don't have to be questioned when we wear the hijab, what our choices are. And we don't have to fight to get a space to take a break when we're fasting during Ramadan. That we work with our educators and our school leaders so that they can understand that it is part of our practice, it is part of our culture, but also that we have to ensure we create the space for all students, additionally to our staff like myself who are Muslim in the BPS, to make sure that they feel welcome, that they are celebrated, that they're honored, and in a time of Ramadan, the beauty of our gathering with food and the Eid al-Iftar for sure, that is a time of celebration, and that is our time and our holiday similar to our Christian brothers and sisters who celebrate Christmas. So we have more work to do in the BPS to ensure that we create that place of belonging for every one of our students, but in particular for our Muslim students, given all of the political and xenophobia and all of the rhetoric over the years that we are still overcoming. So we celebrate this gathering tonight with all of you, and we welcome you back to the Boston Public Schools and in conjunction with the City of Boston. And we'll turn it over to our Mayor, Michelle Wu.
Thank you so much, Farah. And I think the mayor is going to have to change up the program. Okay. And
Assalamu alaikum. Ramadan Mubarak, and I just wanted to thank the organizers here and I'm honored to stand up here with my colleague from the City Councilor, Tanya Fernandes Anderson, whose idea this was as well, and who's been a co-host and partner in shaping this and so many other spaces, virtually, in community, through art, and now in person here today. So thank you so much, Councilor, for your leadership. I look forward to hearing from the Councilor right after. I want to acknowledge also, I'm told that our other colleague, Councillor Ruthie Lujen, was here earlier. I believe she had to step out, but Councillor Lujen, also a champion for our communities in Boston, and an honor to serve with her as well. And we're also expecting State Representative Liz Miranda here throughout the night too. I am very excited to also welcome some additional special guests in the room, some community members from Maine, as I understand. Mayor Deha Dalau of South Portland, the nation's first Somali-born woman elected mayor. Also South Portland's first Black mayor. We're incredibly honored to host you. Also Yusuf from the Portland School Board. Thank you for joining us. Sophia Khalid, former Lewiston City Councilor, who was the youngest person and the first Somali American to sit on the Lewiston City Council. So it's incredible to be with such trailblazers and community leaders. During this holy month, our Muslim friends and neighbors reaffirm faith through fasting, strengthening the connection to community through acts of service. It's during these 30 days, but also throughout the year. And I am thankful for the ways in which this community brightens and strengthens our entire city, day by day by day. I want to affirm today and stand in gratitude that the city of Boston is also here to support the Muslim community, which is why we have a proposal to work with the City Council and ensure that our newest neighbors, including some newly arrived Afghan families here tonight, have halal food. I hope we can be great neighbors to everyone in our beautiful city, and just incredibly grateful to be here with you all today. I'll pass it over to my colleague, Councillor Fernand Anderson.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. How y'all doing? Don't act shy because the mayor is here. It's so good to see you guys. I miss your faces, mashallah. I was trying to sign up for Iftar, okay? Astaghfirullah, I'm not trying to like show off, but there was no time. So one of the Eritrean sisters, can you guys delete your name at Masha Alhamdulillah, because I want to cook for one of the Saturdays. I'm a little overwhelmed with joy, so just wanted to give a little icebreaker, so I hope you don't mind me. My name is Tanya Fernand Anderson, and I am the first African, the first immigrant, the first formerly undocumented, the first Muslim to be elected in Boston. Mashallah, I wanted to ask you to join me in making dua for me and for all of us here today. And inshallah, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepts all of our prayers, accept our fast, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgives all of our bad deeds and accept all of our good deeds and rewards us tenfold. Inshallah, that I ask you to pray for me, to protect me, because as a Muslim, you know who we worship, and you know how we strive to be humble, we strive to serve, we strive to tell the truth by any means necessary. And it's not easy in politics, because the struggle or the balance of building relationships, it's a very transactional relationship. And then with getting things done, right? How am I going to be effective? How am I going to count these votes, build this relationship with the council, and get the things done in the way that we see it to be the right way? So that can be a lonely place sometimes. And so I would appear that I'm an alien to all of this, right? When I start talking about truth, when I start saying what's right is right, when I say equity, when I say racial, when I say African Americans in this country got the short end of the stick, and how do we fix that? When I say we have to repair our streets, when I say what about immigrant rights? What about the Somalians? What about the Muslims? What about the single mothers? What about the fathers? What about our pain? All of that seems a little bit negative, right? So no one wants to really have that conversation. It's a hard place to be, and it's tough to look at people in their face and say, this is not just, this is systemically racist, this is prejudicial. But I ask you to pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, give me the courage to continue in this work, so that I know who I serve, that we fear none but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and that we do it irrespective of whatever advancement that we may lose in the way. that we continue to fight and that we continue to serve, and that we love Allah, so we do it no matter what. And Allahu Akbar. Thank you. I'm here for you. And today I just have a sweet announcement before I go, and there's so much more work to do. We have listening sessions in collaboration with the Office of Immigrant Advancement. I want to thank our mayor for making the space, for giving us the funding, for collaborating and believing in us and including us for this event. And we look for much more in the future. I'd like to thank Brother Yusufi Valley for collaborating with our office, or allowing me to collaborate with you. But today I filed a resolution to acknowledge Eid al-Fitr as a municipal holiday. Inshallah, we get the council support and it becomes official. Most likely, inshallah, it will be. But we have so much more work to do. So I'm going to be creating hearing orders so that listening sessions in the community, so we can sit down, so I can listen, so I can understand, and together we can do a lot of work and make progress in the city of Boston. Thank you. Jazakallah khair. Ramadan Mubarak.
Thank you so much, Councillor, to both our councillors, amazing mayor, and we also have Councillor Louis-Jean, who's going to say a few words here. And I'm just going to, for the sake of all of us here on the stage, just say that we are racing against Iftar time, and so we want to be really short for the rest of our speakers, so that I'm not in trouble and the rest aren't in trouble. Come on.
Don't worry, I'll be short. Salam alaikum. I was here, but I went out with my brother Mahdi to make sure that, out of cultural respect, that I have my head wrap. So I just want to say that I'm celebrating. Yes. We have one for you too, Mayor. So I just want to say I'm happy to be celebrating Iftar with all of you. My name is Rutzi Louis-Jean. I am one of the at-large city councils here, which means I represent the entire city of Boston. My parents are from Haiti, and so I very much identify with the immigrant struggle, with the immigrant issues that we have here in our city. I cannot be more thrilled and more excited to be serving on the Boston City Council with my sister, Tanya Fananj Anderson, to have the first Muslim American on Boston City Council. We know that Muslim Americans are Bostonians as well, and so you deserve to have that representation here in our city. I lived in Senegal, where I celebrated Iftar with my host family, and so I very much enjoy the richness of the Muslim community wherever I find myself, including here in the city of Boston. Count me as a partner and an ally and in all of the work. My staffer, Hodan, who just taught me how to say "how are you" in Somali, and I've already forgotten. How do you say it? Skawaden. So to all my Somalis in the house, Skawaden. I look forward to eating with all of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's now my pleasure to really invite Sheikh Khalil Abdul Rashid, who's the chaplain at Harvard and a member of the Islamic Society of Boston Cultural Center, to come join us. He's a very learned scholar in Islam, and he's going to give us a quick overview of Ramadan.
All right. Peace and blessings be with everybody. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullah. Let's try that again. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullah. Good. All right. It's good to see everyone. This is my first time in this building. This is an honor and a pleasure to be here. Thank you, Mayor Wu. Thank you, council members, the Islamic Society of Boston, brothers and sisters. This is a time where we're in the last 10 days of this sacred month. And during this time when we are preparing to exit Ramadan, one of the core principles of Ramadan rises to the horizon and to the surface that I'd like to remind myself and all of you about. And that's the core value of giving. Now, I come from a family, my late father was the first black mayor of the city of Stone Mountain that birthed the Klan in Georgia. And before he ran for office, he was on the city council, and he used to walk around Stone Mountain, and they didn't have sidewalks. And he used to complain that he had to walk in the street, and people had to walk in the street, and families had to bring their children to school, and they had to walk in the street with the cars. There were no sidewalks. And he complained, and somebody said, well, why don't you stop complaining and do something about it? And he said, you know what, I will. And so he ran for city council, got on city council. Then later on, he became mayor, and he put sidewalks in the city of Stone Mountain. And one of the things he left me with before he passed away was advice about service. And that one of the most important things that you can do as a Muslim is to think about what is the best way that you can leave your community. What is the best contribution that you can give to your community that is a testament to your being present in your community? There are a myriad of ways that each and every one of us can give, can contribute to the betterment and the enhancement of the communities that we are part of. Government cannot, nor should it, do everything. And so while we are exiting Ramadan and we are looking at our accounts and thinking about financial contributions to those that are less fortunate, we also need to think about sustainable contributions to our community, to the city of Boston, to the neighborhoods that we live in, to the parks our kids play in, to the schools our kids learn in, to the businesses that animate our community. What are the ways that we as a Boston American Muslim community, how can we enhance the places we live? And then when we are gone, both individually and as family members, our kids go off to college, if our absence is felt, how does that impact the community? In the same way that our presence should be felt in the community. So what I charge myself and all of you to think deeply about is this core value of giving as a component of individual and collective, spiritual and communal cultivation. That we do not rise individually without our community rising with us collectively. And that's not only our Muslim community, but it is also our neighbors as well, the non-Muslims that live with us as well. We rise when they rise, and we fall when they fall. So when we think about the contributions that are being made by this great city, the doors that are being opened to American Muslims, by American Muslims, serving in government, serving in different aspects of our community, those doors aren't open just for us to walk through. Oh no. Those doors are open so that we can open more doors for others. So how do we open more doors? Because doors have been opened for us. So what can we do? What will our contribution be? That's what we break fast off of. That's how we exit Ramadan. That's how we make this moment not only powerful, but transformational for ourselves and for those that we live with. Ramadan Mubarak. May Allah bless you all. Thank you so much. Peace and blessings.
Now, because we're in Boston Public Schools, and thank you so much for that, Sheikh Khalil, we're going to hear from two Boston Public School students, Sarah Ismail and Ayanle Elmi. So if you guys want to come up. Introduce yourself. Take your mouth.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Ayanle Elmi, and I'm a fifth grader that attends to James W. Hennigan School, Boston Public School, and in the school of James W. Hennigan School, my peers and my teachers respect my religion and make it easy for me to go through the day of fasting. Even though I can't eat all day, I put in maximum effort in all my work. During Ramadan in music class, I would have to sit out because we can't listen to music. This doesn't affect my grade. Ramadan is a holy month of worship, study of the Quran, prayer, and fasting. Fasting in Ramadan is one of our 5 pillars of Islam. This is my experience in James W. Hennigan as a Muslim, and I hope you have a great day, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Sarah Ismail. I go to Boston Academy and I'm currently in 8th grade. For me, Ramadan has made me closer to Allah, and also shows like how I should be grateful for things that I don't have, because I know other people don't have them as well. And for me, Ramadan, the early month of Ramadan, they had been some of my friends, they have said, oh, you can't eat, oh, you can't drink, anything. But once I told them that, they understood and they supported me. So representation in Boston Public Schools is very important, so kids don't have to go against what they believe in, just so they can fit in and be normal.
Thank you to both of our amazing students. Let's give them another round of applause for that. Thank you for sharing your experiences and telling your story. We're going to now invite our amazing mayor to come up and recognize some really important organizations here, along with both the counselors. And what's going to happen is, as your organization's called up, if you just line up here, and then the mayor will give your certificate.
Thank you again to Imam Khalil, and thank you so much to Sarah and Ayale for sharing your perspectives. We're so proud and honored to celebrate you as members of our community and stars within our Boston Public Schools. So in the spirit of Ramadan, we want to honor the kindness and dedication that our Muslim residents display every day. We want to recognize some community groups, organizations that keep our Muslim siblings and families safe and healthy, organizations that are helping displaced Muslims and newly arrived Afghans, and organizations that work tirelessly for our community. So on behalf of the City of Boston and all of our community members here, thank you so much for your generous service. I'd like to invite our council colleagues also to help us present these awards. Okay.
Yeah, so Mayor, if you want to just read, and then, what do you want me to read?
Let's see. Why don't we'll just take turns, we'll go which one.
You start.
Okay. So the first one goes to ICNA Relief New England in recognition for your outstanding service to our community.
Yeah, we'll do a picture quick. Just a little closer. There you go. Everybody smile. I can see it in your eyes. No, it's okay. Thank you. We're good.
Thank you.
The next certificate of recognition is presented to the Somali Development Center. Shakaran.
Some of my people.
Awesome, amazing. Thank you so much for your work. Thank you. Thank you for your work.
Don't run away. They need to take pictures.
I'll do yours.
Switch over as much as you can. Perfect. Me first, and then we'll get the other one. Right here, everybody? And right here? You got it? Okay. We're good.
Assalamu alaikum again. This certificate is presented to African Community Economic Development, New England, Asidome. It was meant to be.
Thank you. Thank you.
Picture? Oh my God. Why do you, it's beautiful dress.
I got it?
Thank you. The next certificate goes to the Massachusetts Sudanese Corporation Association, MSCA.
This picture is way better.
More. Everybody. Yes. Don't worry, there's more. Another person.
All right. Just enough. Okay. You're good.
The next certificate of recognition goes to the Somali Parents Advocacy Center for Education, SPACE.
And the next certificate presented to Center for Arabic Culture, CAC.
Gotcha.
There you go.
Real quick. There you go.
And the next certificate of recognition presented to Refugee and Immigrant Assistance Center.
So look closer, guys. Everybody's in. Got it.
And this final certificate goes to the Jahan Women and Youth Intercultural Inc., JWIY.
Let's just give the real moment there. All right. All right, now with the picture a little closer. Just get a little closer. A little bit. There you go. Perfect. Good.
All right, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us. So here's what's going to happen. We're going to have the call to prayer now, okay? And I'm going to invite Karim al-Razaz to do that. When the call to prayer happens, you'll see that Muslims and everyone can join in this. Please take a date and start breaking your fast, like doing iftar. And then what will happen is, for those who are praying, we'll move back downstairs to pray. Those who are not, hang tight. The food will start to get served. Once the prayer is finished, everyone will come back up, and the food will be served at that point. So with that, we'll have the adhan.
I will take the Qibla direction.
So he's going to face the direction of Mecca, and so that's why he's going to face his back, but that's the only reason. Thank you, Habib.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah.
أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
Thank you so much, Brother Kareem. So with that, those who are praying can go downstairs, and some of you may be wondering what was articulated. So it's in Arabic, and what's been articulated is that God is the greatest, God is the greatest, and that was repeated 4 times. After that, I bear witness that there's only one God worthy of worship, and that was repeated twice. Then I bear witness that Muhammad is the messenger of God. And then come to success, and then come to prayer, and then there's no God but one God. So that's the translation, and with that, then people go off to pray and do that. So again, we'll go off for prayer, come back, and the meal will be served at that point.